Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Los Angeles, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. This is a story that kind of fell through the cracks. It's from 7 days ago. There was a guy looking to assassinate Donald Trump in Riverside, California, and let's watch the coverage here.
News in Riverside County. That's where Sheriff Chad Bianco says he believes his deputies may have prevented a third assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump.
Now, the deputies arrested a man carrying several loaded guns and multiple passports with different names. It happened just outside of Trump's rally in Coachella yesterday. Omar Lewis is live in Riverside. He's got the latest for us. Omar?
Rick and Corinne, good evening to you both. The Riverside County Sheriff's Department says that 49-year-old suspect was armed with multiple loaded weapons, including a shotgun, and he also had alleged fake IDs on him, as well as other credentials. We can tell you that the Sheriff's Department says they believe it was the actions of their deputies that stopped a potential third assassination attempt against former President Trump. Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco confirmed to KTLA 5 News that this is the suspect, Vem Miller, arrested while trying to enter Saturday's Trump campaign rally in the Coachella Valley.
I truly do believe that we prevented another assassination attempt.
The Riverside County Sheriff's Department says Miller was stopped at a checkpoint near Saturday's Trump rally when deputies discovered he was carrying a shotgun, a loaded handgun, and a high-capacity magazine, along with fake passports and a fake license. He also allegedly attempted to use fake VIP passes to gain access to the event.
What we do know is he showed up with multiple passports with different names, an unregistered vehicle with fake license plate, and loaded firearms. If you're asking me right now, I probably did have deputies that prevented the third assassination attempt.
Tens of thousands of Trump supporters showed up to the rally held Saturday in the blistering heat at the Calhoun Ranch just outside Coachella. While residents and permitted attendees were allowed through the security checkpoints, they were closely monitored. It was at one of those checkpoints where Miller's alleged plot was foiled before the former president arrived. He was booked into a detention center for possessing a loaded firearm and high-capacity magazine.
I need to thank that deputy for doing his job. That was the first thing that went through my mind.
The U.S. Attorney's Office released a statement reading in part, the U.S. Secret Service assesses that the incident did not impact protective operations, and former President Trump was not in any danger. While no federal arrest has been made at this time, the investigation is ongoing. In July, an armed man fired at Trump during a rally in Pennsylvania, injuring the former president and killing one attendee. Just last month, another suspect was arrested in Palm Beach, Florida, with a rifle near Trump's golf club. Authorities continue their investigation into this latest incident, and the FBI is also questioning another individual linked to a potential bomb threat at Saturday's rally. And Miller has been released from jail on a $5,000 bail. His next court date is set for early next year. The Sheriff's Department here says additional charges could be coming from the federal government.
What was
That's
his
the latest
bond?
for now. Reporting from Riverside, I'm Omar Lewis.
$5,000 bond?
Yeah, that's a very strange thing that he
What?
bonded out.
So
That's
guy
what all
who's
qualifying languages.
a potential presidential assassin gets to bond out for $5,000?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So you only have to pay
It doesn't.
10% of that, which is so $500. He's out, right?
Right. Yeah, the story I saw, and the guy claims he was a huge Trump supporter and not that. But if you have multiple IDs, see, when I go back to look into it, it says multiple IDs. Did they say multiple passports?
That's what.
Because that's like
Yeah.
really crazy. But
How do
now
you-
it just
how
says
do you get
multiple
multiple-
IDs.
Oh, so now it's so.
See, there's a lot of questions with this. This guy's threatening to sue. I don't know why you would think you could have guns with you to go to a rally after someone. There's a lot that is unanswered here. But this guy
Well,
claims he has.
at the beginning, they say multiple passports.
We're developing news in Riverside County. That's where Sheriff Chad Bianco says he believes his deputies may have prevented a third assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump.
Now, the deputies arrested a man carrying several loaded guns and multiple passports with.
So KTLA reports multiple passports.
Yeah, I'm seeing other things that just say IDs. So I honestly don't know if that's a screw up from the sheriffs or this is a thing. I don't. That guy is he's screaming he's going to do a lawsuit. He's like, I can
really?
disprove
So
every
this
single
guy
thing they're saying, and he got bonded out. I really can't tell, to be honest. It's very strange.
So here's another report.
49-year-old Vem Miller is a self-proclaimed independent journalist and documentarian who says he attended the Trump rally on Saturday as a special guest of the Nevada Republican Party. Miller did not respond to repeated requests for comment, but he did post an hour-plus long statement on his online network.
I'd like to tell you everything, but let's kill two birds with one stone. This is a very traumatic experience that I've had.
In a video statement from what he called a cheap motel room, Vem Miller told his story about the Saturday arrest, which landed him in jail on charges of carrying a loaded gun and possession of a high-capacity magazine.
In the trunk of my car, I carry two firearms. One is a Glock, one is a shotgun. And these two firearms that I carry with me are simply for protection.
Miller says the content on his America Happens network has made him a target. He describes the network's mission as protection of constitutional rights for freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and the Second Amendment, with a focus on what he calls the tyranny of corrupt politicians plaguing our nation.
President Donald Trump has been near and dear to our hearts because he's one of the only individuals that I've seen have the courage to actually stand up to this tyranny against we the people.
So how did an avowed Trump supporter wind up behind bars at a rally for his hero? Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco said in a weekend press conference that while checking cars in a perimeter area, one of his deputies noticed the interior of Miller's car was in disarray and the car had a fake license plate.
The deputy eventually found multiple passports with multiple names, multiple driver's license with different names. The vehicle was unregistered, and the license plate was what we in law enforcement would recognize as one that is homemade and indicative of a group of individuals that claim to be sovereign citizens.
The sovereign citizens movement is considered a far-right group that does not believe in government control.
They don't believe that the government and laws apply to them.
In his video statement, Miller denied being part of an anti-government right-wing group. He says he told the police at the rally about his guns as a courtesy.
I'm like a kindergarten student when it comes to guns. I just have never shot a gun. I've never gone to the shooting range.
What?
The only time where, due to a knee-jerk reaction because of death threats that were sent to my house, that I had ever interacted with guns was buying the gun. And then I open carry in Nevada sometimes for safety reasons, but the gun's never been shot.
Miller claims his only crime is not learning the difference between California and Nevada law regarding carrying loaded guns in a car.
I did not know that in California, you have to separate the mag from the gun. I learned that lesson, I guess, now.
We did some digging and found Clark County family court records show Miller was born in Canada and has gone by 3 different last names: Miller, Yanovkian, and Steinberg. He was granted a legal name change in 2022 during his failed Nevada congressional run and says that explains the IDs with different names.
There is absolutely no way that any of us are going to truly know what was in his head. I can tell you that none of the other probably 50,000 people that showed up yesterday for that event brought multiple passports with different names and guns. I am glad that we're not talking about this after we shot him.
Bianco believes his deputies may have prevented a third assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life. Trump's campaign sent a statement saying, "We thank law enforcement for securing the rally site and helping ensure the safety of President Trump. We are aware of news reports about the arrest and are currently monitoring the situation and gathering more information." Miller says it's all a misunderstanding and an overreaction by police.
I'm a Trump caucus captain. I've collected votes for Donald Trump, and I'm also a Trump team leader. it is with that I decided to come to Coachella after receiving a special invitation from members of the Nevada Republican Party.
We reached out to Clark County Republican Party Chairman Jesse Law, who confirmed to me that Vem Miller is a longtime Trump supporter, volunteer, and grassroots activist. Law says he personally gave Miller an email to show at the rally requesting expedited entry.
I couldn't care less what political party he belongs to. I honestly, I think that's the stupidest thing in the world, that we have to label something and we're labeling this as politics. He was a lunatic.
And they made a big mistake by drawing attention to this matter. And I will leave you with that.
Miller was released from jail with a citation and is scheduled to appear in Riverside County Court on the gun charges in January. The U.S. Attorney, Secret Service, and FBI issued a joint statement saying the incident did not impact protective operations and former President Trump was not in any danger. While no federal arrest has been made at this time, the investigation is ongoing. The agencies expressed gratitude to local authorities who helped ensure safety at the event. Darcy Spears, 13 Investigative.
Oh, so it doesn't sound like he was going to kill Trump.
I honestly, I mean, I don't know what in the hell to make of that. You got three names. You're from Canada, but you're really about Trump. It's just so weird, dude. And then they let him go. Look, the sheriff who's talking there is like, why do you have multiple IDs and you came with guns to go see a guy who's been shot at twice now? And that's a fair question.
Well, apparently that guy, according to him, he's had death threats, and
also so then you bought death threats, because I'm gonna go buy a gun fairly soon, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go practice with it and shoot it at a range. So I'm not gonna buy it and throw it in my trunk and never touch. That doesn't sound safe. I don't know how to protect myself with my gun in my trunk that I've never fired, and I don't know how to fire. That's just bizarre. Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. That was a weird, and he's a sovereign citizen, which is like, so he has like what made up?
He denied
has a made up license.
I mean, he ran for Congress.
Yeah, I don't know. This is very strange, and I really am into strange stuff, and I don't have a theory.
I think the guy just had guns in his trunk.
Yeah.
He's never shot. I mean, you can you can test a gun to see if it's been shot. I'm pretty sure.
Well, he said he told the cops he had them.
Yeah,
I heard that. Yeah, so.
But I wish I'd like to know why he had the fake license plate. What's that about?
Well, he said, I guess he's not part of that, but sovereign citizens, according to the
sovereign citizens,
they make their own license plates. I would like to see what it looked like, the license plate he made for himself.
Me too.
If that is indeed what he had.
Me too.
Seems like a strange guy. He seems a little bit odd. Also, it's weird that your name is like Vladidovian and also Steinberg and also Miller. That's just really strange. I don't know. I mean, that's just odd. Because that one name sounds suspiciously, I want to say Ukrainian, but I don't know. It's odd. It's an odd way to show up to the thing.
All right,
if you run, you got an invite. You don't know any better, and you run a caucus. And you ran for. You don't know any better. I don't know, man.
Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Los Angeles, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.